Guys, welcome back to the Modest Girls channel. Today we're going to do something fun. We're going to do kind of a first impressions. Some of the stuff I already had. I bought recently, but I've already used it. Some of the stuff I have not used or very lightly used. So we're going to do that. And so we're going to do a makeup look. I think we're going to make it look fall. So like kind of what I was wearing the other night, but maybe a little different. I'm not sure. So let's get started. Okay. So the first thing I use on my face is the Professional Pro Balm to minimize the appearance of pores. This is also a mattifying one, and I get like really oily right here, and especially like on my nose, so this really helps with that. I just use the tips of my fingers to apply it. I don't use any kind of like utensil or anything, but I kind of like rub it between the tips of my fingers, and then I just like dot it all over my face for a second. Rub it in. I really try to get it right here on my nose so it can mattify as much as possible. And then I get my chin and then my T-zone. So the next thing I'm going to use is the Sephora oil-free foundation. I don't have the box. I wish I would have kept it. It's a 10-hour wear perfection foundation. It's in the color light on my face. That way I could get an even-ish application. Typically I can use one pump. Sometimes I use two because it said it was full coverage, but sometimes it's really not. And I have a lot of like blemishes right now, so we'll see if it works. I also use the Tarte the Buffer foundation brush. I really like it because it's like a really dense brush and it really gets into my foundation. I just kind of buff that in. And I go a little bit down to my neck. Okay, so I got that. The next thing I use is concealer. And I have a new concealer this time. It is the Milani Retouch and Erase. You can see it there. It's got like a little spongy at the top. It's really cool. I'm kind of like nervous about it because I'm not sure about how it's going to apply. This is in the color Fair. It says it's a mess-proof cushion tipped point. Light lifting concealer, conceals dark circles, covers spots and blemishes and imperfections, brightens and revitalizes. So, let's see how this goes. Oh, it already came out. Okay, let's try it. I usually just make like a triangle here.
Crazy dark circle. Okay, then I get some right here. Usually take like 3 lines to go out. See with my chin. This just comes out really fast. It's crazy. Then I get 3 dots.
For concealer, again, I don't use a beauty blender. I use this little faux Artiste brush. I think this one I got on Amazon. So it's like real cheap. I got it for like $1 or $2. But and then I just spread it out.
I do cover my eyelids. That way the color is even. With under my eyes when I do my eye makeup. And with concealer, if you have creases and wrinkles underneath your eyes, you want to like look up when you're applying it. That way it gets in the crease and kind of works out that way for you. I would say this is like
decent. It's not as, I don't like it as much as my Shape Tape, but this is Milani and I bought it at Walmart for like $7, whereas the Shape Tape is from Sephora. A little bit more expensive. Okay, so the next thing I use is like a setting powder for under my eyes while I do my contour, and then I set my whole face. And I just bought this NYX HD Studio Photogenic finishing powder, and it is in, what's the color? It doesn't say. It's like white, so it's like translucent, I believe.
oh my gosh, it's very
Fine. Just got all over me. Kind of smells weird. And I had this I do use a beauty blender for, but it's like fake. But I just use it to, it gets under my eyes better than it does a brush, and I don't know why. We'll see how this goes. It's cool. It feels very cool. This is weird. I'm not getting as much under as I normally do. I think I like that. It smells like an old lady on there. I'm gonna do something else. I don't want to make this. I don't like it. That might be going back to what I used to kind of like set my face a little bit, and it's the It Cosmetic number 211 all over powder brush, and it's ginormous. This is ridiculous. It's huge. That's what I use for my powder. I just love it. It's just so fluffy. So I had my Kat Von D ready. I have all my backups ready here because I wasn't sure I was gonna like any of this stuff. But so the NYX setting powder I don't really like. The Milani under eye concealer is okay. Next I do the contour, and I just got this NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette, and it's awesome. I tried to use a highlight one day. It's not like super bright. I'm not super impressed. I'll probably stick to something else, but it's good if you want like a very low-key look. Okay, so typically with contour, I use cooler tones on my skin for contouring. Usually 2 brushes. This is the Real Techniques, I don't know the name of it because I bought it forever ago, but it's the Real Techniques, just a normal contour brush. I'm gonna go in with, oh, it's so hard to see the lighting in here. I'm gonna go in with this one here, and that is Sculpt. So just take a little here, and then I just tap it so I don't get any like excess, and then just, and I like go like that to get my cheekbones to be a little bit more pronounced because I have a chubby little face, and I want to be able to put the contour in the right spot to where if I smile or I make a face, you can definitely see like it's where it's supposed to be. So I just take that right under my cheekbone, and I make it darker here towards my ear, and I just bring it out a little. Some people go like all the way out. I just kind of go right here. And you can see it's like a really sharp line right now. So then I just blend it up. I do circles, but I blend up when I do it. And then I just bring it up a little bit right here into my temples. And I have like crazy baby hair. My hair is like the frizziest hair ever. That's why it's just up today because it's so crazy. And then next I go under my chin. The camera turned off. We don't know why, but hopefully you got that last part about blending and everything. So now I go under my chin because me personally, I like to hide this double chin just a little bit just to make my face look a little bit slimmer. You obviously don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's not a big deal. This is what I do just because I like the look better. So I bring it right here where I see the chin. Okay, and then I bring it out to carve out my actual jaw. That is going to get blended, so don't worry. And then next, I like to use the Kat Von D concealer brush, but to contour my nose. The reason why is because it gets really sharp, like a point here, but then it's like tapered out, and I think that's really cool, and it's really helpful too. When you don't want like a huge brush making a huge line, you can either make, you know, as small or as big of a line as you want. So I'm not going to use the same color that I used to contour my cheeks and my chin here. I'm going to use a lighter shade because it is my nose and it's more prominent. So I'm going to go in with this shade, and that is Toffee. I don't know if you're able to see that, this shade here. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that up on both sides of the brush, tap it off. Bring it there. And then, okay. And we are gonna clean that up with setting powder so the line is not as thick. Just bring it down. That's one thing I do like about beauty blenders. The sharp tip allows for precise application of what you want. I'm gonna bring that there. And then I'm going to come underneath here. The first thing I'm going to dust off is my under eye because it's been setting the longest. And again, I'm just going to go in with this It Cosmetics number 211 all over foundation brush. Foundation or powder? Powder. I don't know why I said foundation. So just go in, dust that off. So, just dust off my forehead and my chin because whatever. Dust this off. Down here in my nose and everything, I don't let it set too long. I just partially impatient, partially don't think it needs to. This is the coolest cup ever. It's my Harry Potter Turbis cup. I love it. Right now I'm drinking like a chocolate coffee shake from that plant. So the next thing I was going to do is blend out my nose and underneath. So I take this. It's a Sonia Cashew brush. You can see it's just like a little dense fluffy powder brush. I don't know what the actual name of it is. I bought it so long ago, but this is like one of my go-to brushes. I love it. And it's really good for blending. So blend this out. And when I blend, I try to use circular motions. Seems to work better. When I blend my nose, I don't like go like this. I just try to like bring it down this way a little bit. And then from the side, I'll blend a little bit, try to blur out those harsh lines. But I don't go like that, because if you do that, it's going to get in the middle. It's going to defeat the purpose of the contour. Got this. And now you guys can see where there's more defined lines here, which is what I want, because my nose is rather wide. So that's that. And then I just put like a light layer of powder all over to set everything. So the next thing we're going to do is blush. I picked up this blush. It's the Milani. And it is the Romantic Rose powder blush. And you can see here that it's got the rose. I don't know what you would call it. It's carved out. Luxe 514 blush brush. That's probably what I'm going to use today. It's really cute. It's like a rose gold color. But I'm going to use this today because it's less dense and it's more fine. So I'm just, I don't want to ruin this rose. I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush. Well, it's not coming off very well. Maybe it's compacted too tightly. Okay, so we'll see how that is. I just take this right above my contour, bring it back, and give a little smile, and get the apples. You can see it. It's a faint brush. It's not as pigmented as the other that I use. I have to load my brush up quite a lot with this one. So that's that. Next is highlighter, and I use the Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter. That's that. It's been used quite a bit. And this is also a Luxe brush, but I'm not sure of the number. It doesn't say it on it. So just a nice little fan brush. I just get some on there, tap it off. Okay, so there's that. And then I put some on the tip of my nose sometimes. Add a little bit of cuteness there. Okay, so I've got that. So once I'm done with like the face portion of my makeup, I like to set that before I do my eyes, just in case I bump it or something, and then I don't want it to rub off. So I'm going to use up the rest of what I have of my Urban Decay All Nighter little sample that I got from Ulta. I just spray all over. I'm going to let that set for a second. So I use the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Minor Sin. Not a major sin, a minor sin. So as long as it's minor, right? That's all that matters. So I just get a little bit on the little applicator here. See? And then I just, typically what I do is I just put it all over my lid, and then however I want to shape the outer corners, because it's different for me every time. But I try to keep to a general shape. I kind of just like create that barrier. That way it sticks where it needs to and not places it doesn't. Then I just, with my finger, just blend out the edges And that way when I apply it, it's not such a harsh line. That was an issue I ran into when I first started using this stuff. So the first thing I'm excited for is the Kat Von D Saint and Sinners palette. It's so beautiful. It's got 24 shades. I'm super excited. Look at this. It's just like, it's heavenly. Literally, there's a color in here called Heaven. So technically it is heaven. So I'm going to use my Real Techniques Dome Shadow Brush. It already has a little bit on it. But as you can see, my dog got a hold of it. Do you see that? Do you see it? It's ridiculous. I'm going to go with the Ashes color. See that? It's beautiful. I'm just going to take it to the outside, the outer edges of my eyes here. Eyelid, not my actual eye. And I'm going to use this brush. It is the Moda Pro, and it's the BMX 430 crease brush. See that? That has a little bit of orange on it from the other day. Let's do the orange. And this is called Devil. There. I'm just going to take a little bit of that. I'm just going to start blending right here. Focusing in the crease, but the brush will pull it out to the outside a little bit, which is what we want. Next, I'm going to add in, so this is called Exorcism. I'll show you here. I'm just going to add that right where I put that orange, but with a more precise brush, and this is the Elizabeth Mott blending brush right there. Just gonna stick that there. I'm gonna stick to the outer corners. I'm gonna pull it in this way a little bit, just because I find that that's the best way for my eyes to look. Everybody has different shaped eyes. So next, I'm going to take, it's a flat brush, see here, and that is the Bodyography Pro Flat Shader. I'm going to be using like a shimmer shade, and I find that it's easier to pick them up when the brush is a little damp. So I got this wet a little bit. I'm going to be using the shade Heaven there. And notice I don't go like this. I just kind of press it on. And you'll see that that pigment shows up amazingly. Whereas if I were to like swipe it on, it might not even get it on very well. I'm going to take that purple shade again and blend, you know, where they meet, because it looks like I went a little bit into the purple, which sometimes it's hard not to do, but I'm going to try to even that out and blend it out. So I'm going to use the small side of the brush here, and I use that for the inner corner of my eye. And I'm going to use for that this color Absolution, and it's like a super shimmery white. Picked up a little bit here. Put it right in this inner corner to brighten up my eye. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to do the other eye, and then we'll get going on eyeliner. And we're back. I did the other eye, but I did skip the blending step. I need to blend out my eyeshadow. That way it doesn't look so crazy. I'm going to go in with this shade, Amen, because it's most similar to my skin tone from this palette. I could pull out a couple other palettes to get something that's a little closer, but I'm just going to use this. So just grab some. And this is how I seal the shape and the blending of my eyeliner. So I just take that here. Oh, and this is the Sedona Lace EB13 brush, and it's one of my favorite. It's super fluffy. The bristles are purple going into like black. Love it. It's super long. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to put a little bit underneath, and I like to use the Eco Tools, and this is the pencil brush, and I love it because it's so precise at the tip. So I'm going to put a little bit of the orange underneath just to pull that in because there's a hint of orange. Stir that underneath on my lower lash line just to tie it all together. So there's that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up just a little bit of that purple and put it on the outside of my lower lash line. Okay, and there's the finished as far as the underneath. But I did pick up this Hard Candy liquid felt tip liner, and it's in 892 Little Black Dress. So I wanted to see how this would look because I heard some good things about Hard Candy, and I wanted to try a different brand. Pop this on, and you want to follow the bottom lash line with your liner, just so it kind of ties in with your eye. And I'm gonna bring this down towards my lash line a little bit because it wasn't fully there. Okay, and then underneath this liner, I'm going to put the Man Eater liner here. That's just in the shade black as well, and I put that on my upper waterline just to darken my. And we're back. Camera keeps being poopy and now it's dying, so we had to charge it for a second. While it was charging though, I applied the other eyeliner and one brow, so I'm going to do the other brow for you guys. And I used the Brow Girl by Tonya Crooks, the Convertible Brow 02, and it came with this brush. It has like a little spoolie and then like a precise brush on the end, and I die for this brush. I used to use another brush that I thought was precise, and this is precise. So I just use the darkest shade here. I don't think it gives me a color name. Is Showdown? Okay, that's fine. It's the darkest color, it's all that matters. My eyebrows are dark and my hair is dark. So I just follow the natural line of my brow. You know, just to darken it up a little bit. You know, shape it. Okay. And then as I get closer to the inside, I'd use a lighter hand. Try to do it last because I don't want that super defined because I don't want my brows too harsh. Now some people like that and that's fine. It's just my personal preference. And then I load the brush and you see how it points at the very tip. I use that tip to do brow-like strokes to fill it in. So I spoolie all my hair up and I line the bottom and then I spoolie it down to get to the top. Now the top I'm only going to line to about here because you don't want it too looming over your eye. Just again, just follow your natural shape of your brow. There's my brows finished. Next I'm going to do my mascara. And I use a mascara primer. What I've been using lately is the Stils Booster XL Vitamin Infused Mascara Primer. And that's from Lancome. And I also got this as a sample from Ulta one day. They just like loaded me up. But I just load that on my lash. I'm going to be using the Tarte Man Eater Mascara. in the shade black or whatever it's called. I don't know what shade it is, but I know it's black and that's what I like. I did the left eye. I'm going to do my right eye now. I enjoy thoroughly this mascara. I love it. It really like thickens my lashes. So I need to go buy a full size because this was just a little trial size to see if I like it. I find I like to do the trial sizes lately because I don't want to waste my money on like a $20-something mascara and then like do nothing. So, okay. This is the final look on my eyes. Oh, it's so hard to see my contacts. When I do put my contacts in before my makeup, sometimes they get really cloudy and it's really annoying. But for lipstick today, I think that I'm going to do a deep, like, reddy, purpley color. It's called Video Vixen, and it's the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit, and this is matte. It's a Mega Last, and just so you know, this is difficult to get off with makeup remover. I don't know why, but I mean, I guess it stays. That's a good thing. So I like to do my bottom lip first, and then move to my top. Okay. Okay, so let me know how you like this look. Give me comments and suggestions on what you'd like to see next. I know we are doing an unboxing, but if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Hit subscribe, the little bell so you can get notifications every time I upload. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.